So we're making another brisket video. Welcome to my first and worst video. The best way to open this thing up is to pinch it on top and then stab it. I like to open it this way to keep the red juices inside the bag still. Pat this thing dry before we trim it up. Got a little unlucky here. It looks like the butcher may have scored the meat, but it's the bottom side, so we're not too worried. Alright, we'll leave this side for last, since it's the presentation side. Now there's a lot of trimming videos out there, so I'm not going to teach you how to trim. Take off some of this loose skin. Now we're going to take off the deckle, which is just basically this big chunk of fat that's not going to render down. And remember, you can always take off more, you can never take off less. Just go ahead and move it as needed for you to get the job done. Yeah, that was never going to render. Now this does leave me with a little bit of a pocket, but better to have that pocket than some fat that doesn't render. And just for whatever reason you guys decide to use this video as a guide, again, do not use it as a guide. You feel like you keep going and you're losing a lot of brisket, but I have done at least 5 bad ones. And let me just tell you, that fat that doesn't render ruins the brisket. Thankfully, I don't feel a lot of pressure with this one because this is for a party where we're most likely just going to make it chopped brisket. But I am using this cook as an experiment to see how I like a different seasoning on my brisket. I usually just go salt and pepper. I like salt and pepper on my steaks. I mean, you could spend hours on this if you wanted to. At the end of the day, there's no rules to barbecue. The whole point of it is that it's not perfect. I think I'm gonna flip it over now and we can do the other side. So for what I'm seeing for trimming these briskets, just like a quick overview, do the deckle, get the mohawk, trim the excess fat on top of this, and also remove this big hard piece of fat that's not going to render on the end as well. That was never going to render. There's a little bit of meat on there, but mostly fat. Right now we're going to remove the mohawk. Looks like right here. Right here are even. See how this is very thin? This is pretty thick. If I cut that right there. Now this looks like a lot because it is. It's a lot. But you see the unevenness? It was not going to come out good at the end. If anything, I might cut this right here straight down to make it a little better. And it'll also give you an idea of how thick the fat is. The thinner side looks good. Better too. We are going to use a binder today. You don't have to. I'm not telling you to. That's just me. So now, yeah, we're going to bind it with some mustard and then just use the seasoning. Today I am using this all-purpose 1956 seasoning. Before I start seasoning this, I am going to get the smoker started. We're going to smoke this the overnight method, so 180 till tomorrow morning. Alright, so I'm going to use this mustard as a binder. You guys let me know. A guy in my comments the other day on one of my shorts where I cooked a brisket told me to use mayonnaise. I'm thinking about it. Have you tried it? If so, let me know in the comments. If you don't let me know, I'm gonna try it anyways. We don't need that much. Just enough for the binder to stick. Time to season this bad boy up. Again, the way I like to do the way I season it is do half of it. This way we can control it a little bit better. Go a little high to get an even spread. The sides is always the death of me. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Beautiful. A little bit of mustard on this side. Might season a little bit more since the way I flipped it wasn't the best. All right, here we go. Guys, let me know in the comments if you somehow contain this mess of seasoning. All right, this is ready to go on the smoker, guys. Now you might ask, why the hell is your grill in your front door? Now I'll answer that question after I put it in here. And that's because it's supposed to rain tonight, and I do not have a covered backyard. This is the best I can do. All right, it's reached about 168 right now, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap it. We're gonna put some vinegar on here to help the brisket and the paper a little bit easier to manage. We have some leftover tallow from last time we made a brisket, so I'm gonna put some on the paper as well. Oh, she's heavy. I did use some spatulas to help me pick this up. Right now I'm going to try to pick it up with some gloves. See if I don't burn myself. Go. I keep saying swaddle it like a baby. The problem is that briskets are not shaped like a baby. So I'm gonna do my best to keep it as tight as possible. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, here. Point is just to keep it tight, and I think we've done that here. If it falls apart, right? Now I'm gonna raise the smoker to 250 and finish off the cook till it gets to that 202. And I'm gonna put the purples back in on either side just to make sure it's cooking at the same rate. Right now I pulled it off at 168. Both sides were 168. So let's go put it back on the smoker. All right, so I pulled this off at 203. All right, this thing has been in the cooler for about 4 hours after reaching temp, so we'll see how it came out. It's still pretty warm. I think you can let it cool down down to 140 degrees. Sure does smell good. It's in a pile of juices. No, if I pick that up with one hand, it's gonna fall apart on me. Okay. Oh, there we go. That does look good. I will admit the bottom is a little bit burnt. I'm not sure how I could really prevent that. I mean the bottom, I really mean like the bottom thin layer. It's everything else is pretty good. If you have a solution to that using the pellet grill, let me know. There you go. That's good. I'm gonna let this fully cool off, and then when sliced up, store it, vacuum seal, and probably sous vide it back up. All right, well, thanks for watching this video. To sum it all up in one short paragraph. Smoked the brisket overnight at 180, woke up, turned up the temp to 225, let it reach to around 167 degrees while spritzing it every hour and a half, every hour, as soon as you wake up the next day. Wrap it at 165, give or take, and then turn up the temp to 250 and let it finish till it reaches 203. And then, yeah, we wrap it up in a towel, let it rest for about, in this case, 4 hours. I believe this is the simplest way. Thanks for watching.